Hi guys!
Hey y'all!
Welcome back to Y'all Hearing This. My name is Kay. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us.
Yes, and my name is Honeybee, or you can call me B, whichever you choose. Shall it's all right with me?
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, we're so excited.
Yes!
This week we picked iKON to get into a little bit more. So every Wednesday we do a couple MVs. We pick one artist or group. We do a couple MVs, we do a dance practice alive, we do a guide, and our podcast, which is where you're at now. So Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for coming on back.
Yeah, that's right.
Come thither, okay?
That's right.
Come hither and sit down. That's right. What I meant to say. I said sither.
Yeah, I got it.
That should be your whole hashtag sither.
Yeah, it happened in my brain. I was like, he meant sit down and come hither.
Yes.
So I heard it. I saw.
Come sither. That's going to be a new thing. I'm making it a new thing.
That's right.
Hopefully it's not a thing already.
I don't think so.
That was a read, girl. You better read me. We were talking about RuPaul's Drag Race earlier. Ciao.
The library is open. I need new glasses. Yeah.
Oh, God. I was like, I hope this isn't a thing. I don't think it is. My soul.
Oh God, you made me yelp. Okay. So all right, we're even.
Okay, we're good.
Too funny. Oh man.
So what did you like about the guide? Like, tell me about like what you took away and what you love about iKON.
So they're very different from what I thought. I really thought they were like very rap heavy group, and I know that they do. They do have that side to them too. But I just was picturing kind of like this group that was way more in like a rap, and then just hearing the music videos, seeing the lives, seeing the guide, and like getting more of a taste for the members too. Totally changed my perspective. Like we watched their latest video that we had seen. It was like 80s synthwave. Like it was just like what?
Like we were like, what did we just?
Like it was so good.
It was so good, but it was like
subverted my expectations completely and utterly
thrown.
And totally.
Yeah.
So it's been so much fun getting to know them a little bit better. Like I said, I watched them on Kingdom and really loved them like their interactions with other members and things like that, with other groups. So that was a lot of fun. So I was excited to get into this, and I'm super glad I did because I can't wait to check out more.
It was so dope. Like you know me, I love me some singers.
Yes, you do.
And I love tones. And I think the thing that I took over, listen.
His voice.
June.
Yes. I believe that's how you say it. Pretty sure.
June. That's how I want to say it when I saw.
A little more French.
June. That's how I want to say it.
But
I know. Wait, who's paying attention? That's everybody. No, in all seriousness, his voice literally blows my mind because he reminds me of Jasmine Sullivan. Okay. Because Jasmine Sullivan has that raspy voice, but she can sing the telephone book. She can sing any genre. And I just, oh my God, it was like he'll belt and it's like that gravel. It almost reminds me also of like Jasmine Sullivan. It also reminds me of Meatloaf. It's just like.
I can see that. Yeah.
It's just like that rasp just, oh my God, it gets me.
Like honey.
Yes. It's still smooth.
Exactly.
It's very sultry.
Yes.
And it's very velvety.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Velvety. Like very Luther Vandross velvety. Like that type of feel, but then with the heart, like that rasp of like.
It made me think, when you said velvet, it made me think of Black Velvet by Alana Miles.
Oh, yes! That, like very Melissa Etheridge. That rasp but soul. Tracy Chapman.
Yeah.
Rasp but soul. It's just like, oh, I live for it. When he started talking and singing, I was like.
All right. I mean,
I said, okay, Janae.
We know who your bias is.
I was like, okay, that is my bias. I love them all, but he's.
I know his voice was so good.
It was so good.
Couldn't even tell you. I love Bobby personally. But I think DK was kind of my favorite. I liked his dancing again. I loved it. I love it so much.
I like that I think this was the first time I think we've ever featured like a group who solely only produces their own music. Is this
Stray Kids?
Stray Kids only uses their
and BTS mostly too.
Okay, because like
and I don't know that iKON fully self-produces.
Oh, okay, because that's what I got out of this guide was like that they don't even work with like outside producers. Like it's only in the group.
I don't think that that's true.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think that that's true. I think a lot of the group does the production and whatnot, but I don't think it's fully. I don't know. I could be wrong. Please let us know.
Yeah. Because I was like that. I found that to be really, really dope. Just because in the kind of like talking about like longevity in the music industry, that type of thing. I think, and also from a financial aspect of like supporting yourself and rightfully so as an artist, creating your own stuff. Like those royalties and everything will sustain you for life, especially if you blow up and you are successful. Then it's like, I remember listening to an interview that Mariah Carey talked about, and then she talked about in her autobiography that she had been offered $5,000 for all the rights to her masters and everything. And she didn't understand what she was 19. This was 1980. Oh no, she said she was 18 when she signed a record deal or something. So 88. Wow. So she didn't understand what she was signing, but something told her not to.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. And literally Mariah Carey owns the rights and full publishing to all her music, like anything that she ever put her name on forever. And her first big single was Vision of Love at 19, turning 20, right? And she literally talks about it in the book, like, had I took that extra $5,000, she was like, I needed it. Yeah. But instead, like, I went with my tuition and she was like, thank God I did.
Yeah.
And it's like, it made me think of like iKON, because I'm like, that's so dope. Because, as we saw in the video, one of the members who's not with them anymore, they are like, it seems really big.
Yeah.
You know
what
I mean?
For a bunch of different people
you know what I mean? And so they're it's like that quality to like sustain your career after. You know what I mean? I think that's really dope.
And I always say, like, I think it's so great when you can make your own music and sing your own music and sing your own words, because of course it's going to add an extra layer of meaning to it for you. Not that people can't take like songs written for them and take it and make it their own. Of course they can, and there are so many artists that have done that. But for me personally, I do really like hearing when something is like self-written, self-produced. That's why, like, seriously, BTS and Stray Kids are so high in my estimation. You know what I mean? Just because of how much they really inspire me.
Not to say, and I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, not to say that they're true artists, but it's like, in my mind, I'm like, that's like a hardcore, like, I don't even know what that would be called. Like, because everybody is an artist. Whitney Houston was an artist. She never wrote a song in her life. You know what I mean?
So her artistry was taking that and using her voice and knowing how to use her voice on it, and things like that. And there's all types, and no one's like better than another. We're not saying that at all.
But it's just like,
but it does add that depth.
It's just like an extra oomph.
Exactly.
Like, that's the best way to put it. It's like, oh, you guys are good, but like, oh, you guys are really good. And, like, ooh.
And like, if you're hearing lyrics, you're like, they wrote that.
Right.
So like, that's something that they either went through or they're going through or thinking about.
Or experience, or maybe heard from, somebody else. So that's why I think iKON is just so dope to be that involved. And again, in such a, I mean, the music industry has always been so political.
Yeah, of course.
But like, especially when it comes to the rights of the artist and what they're allowed to do and not allowed to do, I always say this to Kay, is like, I'm always fascinated because, K-pop, the world of K-pop is completely different than any other.
Oh, yeah.
Any other genre, country of music, whatever.
It's like a whole experience getting to know a little bit more about like how it works, and I'm still like such a beginner,
right? Well, and it's like when I can honestly say us in the States, when's the last time you heard anybody of doing a camp or like being signed on and being a part of like agency where it's like you're consistently, you know, being trained, like a trainee, becoming a trainee. Like
we don't have that system at all here.
At all.
And that's why I always liken it to the Olympics. Always, always, always. Because we do have camps for things like that. We do have, like, there are gyms where people go, and that's what they're doing, is they're training for the Olympics. And I really liken it to that.
Yes.
Like, you have to put in, that's the level of work that has to be done to make it
in the K-pop realm.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right.
That's why I'm like, and it's like, and it's so funny because you can see the difference.
Yeah,
you can see the difference. I'm just saying, and it blows my mind because if you think about it, the people that did do that in our case in the U.S. were considered like the Jackson 5. Mm-hmm. Joe Jackson, you know what I mean? Destiny's Child, Matthew Knowles, literally was like training them and making them run on a treadmill in heels while singing in harmony.
Right.
Like that is why Beyonce is Beyonce.
Yeah.
That is why Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson. The Jackson family is the Jackson family. It's like, so that's why it's like looking at iKON to be able to do all their own stuff. And I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so dope.
Yeah.
So dope.
I mean, there's definitely good things and bad things about it, of course, because of course you get the companies that are not great.
Right.
They actually just passed in Korea a bill about underage trainees.
Oh, wow.
And that like work schedules and things like that, and like really limiting it, which is great.
Yes.
And they actually put in there too that groups can go to the company at any time. They at least once a year, but they can ask for it any time to see their financial statements.
That is dope.
Yep.
I am here for that.
Me too. When I read that, I was like, that's amazing.
I would do that right at the end of the year when taxes came up. I'd be like,
Yeah.
No, I need a meeting.
No, because there are so many people out there.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And Mariah Carey's record deal,
Listen, Ciao.
Exactly. I mean, there are so many record companies out here making some big bucks and screwing over their artists left and right. So I think that's really important.
Which is terrifying.
It really is. It really is. It's because it's a whole system. So when you're a trainee, they take all of that. So when you debut, like you owe the company money.
Yeah.
So it's very much like a record company where you sign a deal, they'll send you here and there, but you have to pay it back.
Yes. Yep. They got to recoup.
Exactly.
They got to recoup.
Exactly. So you can be a debut group and be making big numbers, but still owe so much money that, you know what I mean? So.
Which really blows my mind because like when you think about it, it's like for instance, can you imagine being as big as, iKON and having to still owe money, or like being as big as.
I mean, I'm sure they're way out of it now.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm just saying,
they blew up pretty quickly.
Well,
but yeah,
you know what I mean. Like speaking of, thinking about what we've learned here in the States, like TLC was really well known because they literally, after their first album, they blew up. So by the time their second album came out, Crazy Sexy Cool, which is considered their biggest album,
it's huge.
They literally were at the Grammys, winning Grammys for their song Waterfall, which changed history and all this other stuff. And literally during the interview said that they were filing bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And it's like this album went like double diamond, which is like 20 million. So and they had no money. And it's just like, but how?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's same thing with Toni Braxton. Toni Braxton, she had to file bankruptcy. You know what I mean? And it's like, you look at these groups or whatever, and that's why I think it's so dope that they are able to do their own publishing and whatnot.
For sure.
Because it's like, you're protected no matter what.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And obviously you can definitely still get bad publishing deals.
Of course.
But I think it's just the fact that they just have that freedom, and it's rightfully so, because all these guys in this group, specifically speaking of iKON, it's like they are all talented and they deserve to be treated as such.
Oh, for sure.
And it really makes me happy. The last few groups that we've really talked about, they've all been like very hands-on, and I love that.
I find that I definitely gravitate more towards the groups that are more hands-on.
Yes.
Like learning about like Shiny, especially.
Yes.
Like he like makes their costume. Well, doesn't make them, but he like picks out their costumes. Yeah. You know?
Like who's the last time anybody did that? And that was the same thing with what was the? Oh my gosh, y'all! I'm trying to think back. because they had a meeting. Oh, wait, was
Idol. Idol, I think.
I think it was Idol.
Yeah.
I think it was Idol.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was like talking to everybody.
Yes,
like,
in the board meeting. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And I just thought that was so, like,
Yep.
it's just something really, fulfilling about that. So.
Yeah. No, it's really awesome.
I'm here for it.
I know, me too.
So, is this a good time to segue into my little corner?
Let's get into it. So tell us what Bees Nectar is all about.
So, for y'all first time listeners, Bees Nectar is a segment that we do where, based off of the artists that we are featuring for the week, I kind of throw out some suggestions of other artists that you can listen to that's outside of the K-pop world that kind of reminds me of the artists we're featuring, or sounds, or just vibes, or anything like that. And it's another way to branch out and listen to some new music. So I picked a good one this week.
I know.
Kay usually tries to guess in the beginning.
So, okay, this is way outside guess, and it's purely for like group dynamics versus necessarily like their sounds, especially now that I know more. But just kind of like for the fun factor of like how they interact together and things like that. My guess is Belle Biv DeVoe. Did I seriously get it right?
So this week's Bees Nectar is Belle Biv DeVoe. Yes! Bitch, you better do that! Come on, Kay!
Yes!
We're talking about, listen, you know why this is so dope? Because Kay, for all of our, listeners who've been listening forever, you guys know that Kay makes it very clear growing up that she was all about what? Alternative, pop, classic rock, like all of that. And the fact that she just named Belle Biv DeVoe, I am living!
I could sing it to you.
I am living my best life. Yes! So... So, Belle Biv DeVoe, I'm going to read a little bio. It's very short because Belle Biv DeVoe is actually part of a group called New Edition.
Okay, so that one, I was like, was it New Edition or Belle Biv DeVoe? But then that's why I picked Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yes. So, New Edition.
New Edition is Bobby Brown, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So, New Edition is a group that was formed in the 80s. I'm not going to, because I'm probably going to end up using them at some point. Right. Basically, it's considered one of the really like big
boy group.
Like kind of like crossover type of like at the end of the 80s going into the 90s, like they really blew up, but they were like the standard for guy groups coming into like the newer generations and whatnot. Sure. So like for instance, like Boys to Men actually like stopped New Edition while they were on a tour bus and said, yo, like, we want to get together, and da-da-da, like, we're a group, you guys got to hear us, like, that's how influential they were.
Yeah.
But we could definitely get into that on another podcast because it definitely is a really great story.
Right.
But talking about Belle Biv DeVoe, just so you guys kind of have, like,
background?
Is it background, precursor?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever that's called, all that. So Belle Biv DeVoe is a New Jack Swing trio featuring Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, and Ronnie DeVoe, members of the R&B boy band New Edition.
Gotcha. See, I did not know that they were from New Edition, but okay.
Yeah. That's why I was saying when we were talking earlier, sometimes, not all the time, but I might give a little hint.
Yeah.
As to what
because I was lost. He said 90s, and I was like, oh.
And I said subgroup.
Yeah.
Because subgroup is like definitely, that's what I think of. And that's why I feel like they tie into K-pop. Because it's just like, sure. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So following the release of New Edition's classic album Heartbreak in 1988 and their subsequent tour, the group took a hiatus. And then Belle Biv DeVoe, also known as BBD, formed in 1989 and scored big the following year when the singles Do Me propelled their self-titled...
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that one.
Yes, propelled their self-titled debut album into top 5 of the Billboard Billboard 200.
Okay, that one. All right, that's what I thought.
And also another song off of that album was their biggest well-known hit, which is called Poison.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you something.
That girl is poison.
Right?
Oh,
Girl,
man.
I must warn you.
Oh my god, we need to do a karaoke. We need to do that karaoke some night. Yes!
That song is driving me out of my mind.
That girl is poison. Yes! Oh yeah, we have to do that karaoke. Sorry guys, karaoke break.
Listen, a whole moment. Oh my god. So the group released 2 more albums, Hootie Mac in 1993 and BBD in 2001, before releasing their 4th album, Three Strikes, in 2017. They continue to tour and perform as a trio and in different variations of the New Edition lineup, such as RBRM, consisting of BBD and Bobby Brown.
Gotcha.
So just short and sweet, but I don't know. I instantly, when I was like watching iKON and just the way they go about things and the fact that they have rappers, because Belle Biv DeVoe, I think I want to say it's Mike, but I could be wrong, but one of them does like more rapping and stuff like that and more into production.
In the guide, they were even, one of them was dancing. I think it was DK was dancing to the New Jack Swing too.
And that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's why I thought it was crazy, because
wouldn't it be funny if it was it wasn't, but
oh my god, that song was probably produced by somebody, one of the members of
New Edition.
Yeah, New Edition. Yeah. I'm like, I swear.
I love New Jack Swing. It is the funnest freaking music. Like, if you
Teddy Riley is considered the king from Blackstreet of New Jack Swing.
If you want to start a party, if you want to get a party going, if everyone's kind of like, blah, 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 put on some...
Put Poison on.
Put Poison on. Every single person there is gonna know it. They're gonna get up and dance. They're gonna have a great time. You're gonna have a karaoke session of your own in your house. Oh man, I really want to do that karaoke now.
Listen, you can play Poison. This would actually be a really good. We should segue into say what.
Right.
This is a little section where we talk about anything and everything. What is your favorite New Jack Swing songs?
Oh God.
Or that sound.
Yeah. I mean, Poison for sure. Oh God, it's been so long since I've like listened.
Jade's Don't Walk Away. Don't walk away, boy, don't walk away. That's my song. No.
Oh man.
God.
Oh, there's so many. Oh my God.
Oh God! Now I'm sitting here thinking.
I know.
There's Janet Jackson's "All Right."
Yeah. Yeah.
What is another one?
I'm cheating and I'm looking some up.
Oh God! There's so many. There's Jade. I said Jade. Okay. Yeah. Don't Walk Away. SWV's Right Here, the Human Nature remix.
Yes.
That definitely is doing it. What else? What'd you come up with?
Let's see. We've got.
Oh, I like the kissing game.
Yeah.
Oh, groove me, baby, tonight. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, miss you much, Janet Jackson.
I miss you much.
Yes, it feels good.
Yeah.
I
want to sex you up.
Yes, that is Prerogative by Bobby Brown. Keith Sweat. I wanna. I wanna. Oh my God!
If it isn't love,
yes, a Poison.
Of course, yeah. Remember the
time, Michael Jackson.
Oh wow! Yeah,
oh my God. Don't be cruel.
Oh my goodness!
Don't be cruel.
Oh my goodness! No, I'm gonna have to go download a playlist or something.
You can literally go on any streaming service and just type in New Jack Swing, and there's a hardcore playlist and. Oh my God. Ooh. Did you prefer... Did you prefer male interpretations of New Jack Swing, or did you prefer the female interpretations? Because I do feel like, although it was the same style, they came across very differently. Because even Brownstone's If You Love Me is considered New Jack Swing.
I think for pure singability, I'll go with female. But I mean, the guys too, they just killed
It's
it.
so
It was
hard-hitting.
so much fun. That's what I think that genre is fun. That's what I think of. You know what I mean? That is definitely a party music genre.
TLC's What About Your Friends?
Yep, that we couldn't even sing with them.
What about your friends? Do they turn around? Girl, they let you down? Yeah. What about your friends? Are they gonna be low down? Are they gonna think around? Yeah.
We know
Are
all
they gonna
the
turn their
words.
backs on? Yeah. That was, listen.
Yeah.
We tried.
We tried it once, even with lyrics in front of us, and we still
And
couldn't
we
do
were
it.
like,
We were still like, It was bad. It was really bad, guys.
do you remember the first time you ever heard Poison?
Oh, man.
Because that really is like, I'm sorry.
What
Poison
year
is
did
like
it come out?
Poison came out in, I believe it was 93.
Okay. So I was...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wow. It came out in 89.
Okay.
It came out in 89.
I was going to say...
I thought it was 93 for some reason. But
no, because I was
yeah.
living here in 93. And I definitely remember hearing it. So I was living in Tennessee at the time.
I know I didn't hear it until probably like 93,
So I wasn't...
94.
Yeah.
I was like 6 when I first heard it. So I was like 94. So I was like after.
I definitely remember hearing it when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't allowed to like watch MTV or do anything like that when I was growing up. But I did have a cool babysitter that would let me stay up because I'm the oldest, and we would watch MTV.
Oh.
So I don't know if it was that or just hearing it in like general. Oh, you know where it probably was? The pool.
You remember those days going to like...
Because there was this huge pool that we used to live on the Navy base right outside of Memphis, and there was this huge... Well, they had two pools. One was
the
like
community pool, child.
Yeah, and they had... It was huge, and it had like the really tall like diving boards and stuff.
The germs.
Yeah.
But it was so where it was like you had to be there.
There was so much chlorine in that water you could smell it 3 miles away. But
you
they
had to have
like,
been there.
They had like the huge speakers, and it just bumped like the whatever most popular music was.
Bring those days back.
But that's probably where I heard it. Can you? Oh man, I want to go to the pool and listen to some Belle Biv DeVoe.
Listen,
I want to do it.
So that's what we do at one of my best friend's houses.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I say my sister's house, basically. Yeah. Neva, she has a pool, and listen, we will sit there and be in the pool and just be blasting like stuff like that, and then you got like your old school.
Oh my God.
It's just
we need to have a New Jack Swing pool party.
Yes.
Please.
A New Jack Swing pool party.
Please invite me.
Listen, we will have to. That would be so.
I'm
about to be like, listen, I'm about to tell Neva. I'm about to be like, Neva, girl, you better start renting this spot out, girl. You got people want to give money, honey. You just gotta host a party, honey, and charge a fee. Talk about, come on in.
Exactly.
We're gonna take it old. Listen, that's old school. That is straight up late 80s, early 90s when you used to have a house with a pool in it, and then your parents would be gone or something. You start. Come on, give money. Yep, you have a DJ.
We never had a pool. We never had a pool growing up.
Yeah. And then you would have a cooler with those juices in it that looked like they were like little barrels.
Yeah.
And the quarters to cut your mouth out.
Hugs. They were hugs. Yeah. They were like pure sugar water.
They were pure sugar water. And they were, if you open it the wrong way and that lid would just cut the sugar. While Poison's playing and you just over here jamming. Cut up lips and shit.
Turn into Michael Jackson out of nowhere, yeah. Oh my God.
Those were the days.
I know. I miss pool parties. I know. A friend of mine has a pool too, but I don't think she'd probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's into New Jack Swing. I'll have to ask her. I'll be like, so
you want to talk about this girl?
Yeah.
I'm so dead.
That sounds like the most fun time. And now we can blast iKON too.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
Right.
See, now we can blast iKON. See, iKON, this is what happened. You are iconic.
That's right.
Okay.
And we are iconics now.
Right? For
and
real.
I need that light stick, that bat.
Listen,
thing.
when that light stick came up, I was like, ooh.
I love
It made
it.
me have fun. I was like, oh God. I was like, that big old bat made me think of Dateline or something. Not a stadium full of fans. Can you imagine fans fighting? And it was like,
I think they're like that big.
oh my God, I hope so.
And light sticks are not that sturdy. I'm gonna tell you from the ones that I have so far.
That thing looked huge in the guy. I said, oh my
You
God.
would not be able to hit anybody with it.
All it
more
takes
than
is one.
once.
All it takes is one wrong answer in the middle of the crowd. Talk about who's your favorite, and someone doesn't say Judah. She's like, nah!
He's like, ah!
Right? I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, we love you guys so much.
We do. Thank you so much for listening to our insane ramblings.
Yes.
Every week, because I don't even know how we get from point A to point B sometimes.
But we do.
We're at point like Z minus
right.
3.
And then we go back to A.
Right, exactly. But thank you so much. We
Yes.
hope you enjoyed.
We love you guys
the
so much.
Christmas. We love you. We'll see you soon.